This is an emergency broadcast. This is not a test. A Level 3 biological and memetic advisory is now in effect for all suburban and semi-rural residential zones. A contagious behavioral anomaly, designated AME, has been identified and is propagating at an exponential rate. Do not approach local fauna, especially domesticated canines. Do not attempt to communicate, soothe, or make physical contact. The information contained in this broadcast is critical for your continued safety and psychological preservation. For over 15,000 years, the domestic dog, Canis familiaris, has been our most trusted companion. We have co-evolved, creating a symbiotic relationship built on mutual understanding. We can interpret their barks, their whines, the subtle language of their posture. This deep instinctual familiarity is a cornerstone of interspecies trust. It is a bond built on predictability, an unspoken contract that their behavior will fall within an expected range. But what happens when that contract is broken? What happens when the familiar becomes just slightly wrong? The phenomenon we are observing introduces a deviation from this contract. We are designating it Aberrant Mimetic Expression, or AME. It is characterized by micro-expressions that deviate from established canine behavioral norms by approximately 4 to 7%. This deviation is nearly imperceptible to the casual observer. There is no overt threat, no snarl, no bark. There is only a stillness, an unnerving, analytical stillness that does not compute with our understanding of the animal. Your conscious mind may not even notice the change, but your subconscious does. It registers the subtle imperfection as a fundamental violation of the natural order. This triggers a powerful psychological response known as the Uncanny Valley. The term is typically used for humanoid robots that are almost but not quite human, causing a feeling of revulsion. The AME subject plunges the observer into a canine uncanny valley. The creature looks like a dog, but it doesn't feel like a dog. This cognitive dissonance, the severe conflict between what you see and what you feel, generates a profound primal fear response. Your survival instincts, honed over millions of years, are screaming that you are looking at a predator that is pretending to be a friend. It is a biological alarm system telling you that the entity before you is wearing a disguise, a mask of familiarity that is failing, however slightly. You are not afraid of the dog. You are afraid of the imperfection. The stare is the primary mechanism of the anomaly. It is not an act of aggression or curiosity in the traditional sense. It is a focused, uninterrupted act of data acquisition. The entity is not simply looking at you. It is observing, recording, and analyzing your reaction to its presence. It is studying your fear, your confusion, your hesitation. It is learning from the subtle cues your body gives off involuntarily. With every moment you return its gaze, you are feeding it information. You are teaching it. It is learning to refine its mimicry based on your involuntary physiological responses, your pupil dilation, your increased heart rate, the sweat on your brow. It is calibrating its mask. The initial 4 to 7% deviation is a baseline, a first draft. The goal is to reduce that number to 0, to become a more perfect copy, a more effective and undetectable vessel. The second stage of AME involves auditory mimicry. The subject will begin to replicate common canine sounds, whines, yips, even soft barks. However, acoustic analysis of these vocalizations reveals a terrifying truth. They lack the complex frequency variations and subtle imperfections of genuine animal sounds. They are sterile, flawless reproductions, mathematically perfect. It is the sound a machine would make if you asked it to whine. This perfect imitation is, in itself, another layer of the uncanny. Advisory update. ANE has achieved second stage propagation in multiple sectors. Subjects are now considered Class 2 memetic hazards. Do not engage. Do not reassure. Do not call its name. Your empathy is a vulnerability that the entity is actively exploiting. Any attempt to comfort the subject will be interpreted as positive reinforcement for the mimicry, accelerating the process. Treat all familiar behaviors as hostile actions in disguise. The ultimate purpose of this process remains unknown, but the current leading theory is deeply disturbing. This is not a possession, where an external entity takes over a host body. Instead, it is a replacement, a slow, methodical overwriting of the original host's consciousness and behavior, molecule by molecule, until the original is gone entirely, and only the copy remains. The entity is not in the dog. It is the dog. A perfect, empty replica. The final question you must ask yourself is not, what is wrong with the dog? The question you must ask is, where is my neighbor? The anomaly is not limited to animals. Canines were simply the easiest to replicate. The first and most effective vector to breach our defenses, because we trust them implicitly. They are a biological key, designed to get inside the house, to get close to the primary target. Once inside, the entity can begin its primary replication process. The same principles apply. It will study its new target, learning their speech patterns, their habits, their expressions. It will create a new mask, another shell. The deviation will be small at first, a phrase used slightly out of context, a laugh that doesn't quite reach the eyes, a moment of stillness that lasts just a second too long. The uncanny valley, this time, will be human. The danger of AME is its subtlety. It does not announce itself with violence. It spreads through quiet observation and the erosion of trust. It turns homes into laboratories and loved ones into subjects. By the time you are certain that something is wrong with your neighbor, that they are not who they appear to be, the replication process is likely already complete. You are not living next to a person anymore. You are living next to a successful copy. The entity's motivation is unclear. Is it an invasion? A form of non-biological life seeking to propagate? Or is it something worse? A form of cosmic entropy, a force that seeks only to replace the authentic with the artificial, to erase identity and leave behind nothing but hollow, perfect copies. It does not hate us. It does not want to kill us. It simply wants to be us, and in doing so, annihilate everything we are. So if your neighbor's dog stares at you, do not approach the fence. Do not comfort it. Break eye contact and retreat indoors. Lock your doors. But understand that the lock may not matter. The key is already inside their house, and soon you may hear a knock at your door. It will be your neighbor's voice. It will be your neighbor's face. It will not be your neighbor.